again, Robert does mean a lot to us and has had a good year for us. So we'll just kind of see how it goes today. Still have time to work through things before the game, and then we'll try to put together the game day roster we feel like gives us the best chance, and hopefully that includes Robert. But again, we have a few more practice days before we get there.
Got Adam Kilgore in the front right.
Mike, good morning.
Hey.
Over the years, we've heard like a lot of stories from your players about times when you'll jump into drill or break up a fight or something at training camp. Why do you like to do that, and what do you think it provides your team?
Well, I think I can provide, when you talk about the drills, just finding ways to help and to give instruction however I feel like is best for me to do it. And until I can't, I think it'll be something that I'll want to continue to do, especially, at the line of scrimmage and, things that I feel like I have knowledge of or that could help and explain the technique and, try to, help the player do their job. As far as the fights, I don't want anybody fighting. I don't want our guys fighting in practice. I don't want them throwing punches. They get thrown out of the game when those things happen. So when they happen at practice or in a joint practice, I just want to try to get that, stopped as quickly as possible so that we can get back to practice. That's my intent.
Dan Roach on the far left.
Morning, Mike.
Hey, buddy.
Just a thought on tonight could be a nice night for Adam Vinatieri in the Hall of Fame. What he meant to you as a teammate and how great a kicker he was. Well, you always knew that when he kicked, they were going to go in. I think that was just kind of what we always thought and knew if we got into those types of situations. The kick in the snow, that's probably the greatest feat one of the greatest feats I've ever seen on a football field. You could barely run and let alone approach and kick a football that length. So, obviously, we talked about everybody means a lot to the team. During those years that I was here, Adam was certainly one of those players that meant a lot to the football team and to our success.
Whistler's in the front right.
Mike, yesterday you talked about how important the next 48 hours were. Can you talk about Saturday? I mean, in the Super Bowls you were in before, sometimes you guys moved, sometimes things got. What will Saturday be like?
Yeah, Saturday will be as normal Saturday as we can make it. We'll be here. I don't think we have a whole lot of options. So we'll be here. We'll go through our walkthrough. We'll have a opportunity for our families to be with us and take pictures and do that stuff. We're not going to be able to go to Levi's. We could have as a team, but need to go somewhere where our families can be a part of that and everybody that means so much to us. Allow them to enjoy that, hour or whatever that process is, to take pictures and see the team and, take pictures with the people that they came here to support.
Steve Burton in the back row left.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, buddy.
I know it's a busy week, chaotic week. What do you tell your team with the families coming in today? What's your message?
Stay away from as much as possible. No, it's a good balance, and again, everybody's excited for this opportunity. They're here because they love us and they support us, but also understand that we have a responsibility to each other to continue to prepare as much as possible and to be ready for every situation that could present itself in the game. And both of those things can be true. You can still enjoy your family. You can still have dinner with them on Friday night. You can still see them on Saturday afternoon. And you can still prepare to win the football game on Sunday.
Middle row in the right.
Mike, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. When you won the title as a player in 2001, it seemed like as that season went on, you guys started to believe. After having a tough season in 2000, not many people thought that you could get to the title, especially beating the Rams. And the Patriots last year had a tough season with only 4 wins. Do you see any similarities also with the young quarterback? Do you see any similarities between that team and this team, and that experience that you had as a player in that situation? Is that something that maybe you could help your players as a coach?
I think I've always tried to use everything that I've been presented with through my career from the time that I started playing football, whether that was that game, so coaching experience, whatever, that season. We were 5-5 and won 9 games after Thanksgiving. So we always talk about how you have to continue to improve as the season goes along to give yourself a chance to make the tournament and be in the playoffs and ultimately get to where we are today. But I don't really draw too many parallels. I don't know what happened in 2000. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened in 2024. I wasn't here. So I just try to focus on where I'm at and being present and doing what I feel like is best for the football team, whether that was as a player or now as a coach.
Cameron Wolf, back left.
Good morning, Mike.
Hi, Cameron.
How you doing?
Good.
Jackson Smith-Njigba, obviously a really good player for them. They move him around pre-snap and into the slot. What goes into your decision when deciding to shadow a guy versus playing more your standard defense against?
I just think it's a balance. Obviously they're going to target him, and they should, rightfully so. He's an excellent player. Got a lot of respect for him as a competitor, what his skill set is, and so I think it's a balance. I think there's times where you reasonably can't, just based on what they do with him and where he goes, and we'll have to be very aware of him, just like we'll have to be very aware of being able to stop the run and the other things that they do really well. So I think it's just a good balance of being able to show different looks.
Mike Reese in the front right.
Morning, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Start with a vest. Is that a Stick Rogers special?
I'm not. This was a gift, so I can't talk about it.
Okay.
It was just a gift.
Got it. On the game, Mike, what have you observed from the Seahawks defense that puts stress on you protecting the ball, knowing that that's one of your team identity goals?
Well, it's just they play hard. Again, we've talked about this. There's this identity that they play with, that they believe in, and they put on tape. So we've always said, when you have talent that plays with great technique and that plays with the type of effort that they do, that gives you a chance to really separate yourself and be special. And so I think they're a great example of that. They're talented. You see the defensive linemen playing the way that we would like to play and that we do play with, and they play with the technique that we talk about. You see them play with the effort that we talk about. They're a good tackling football team. They're not afraid to come and attack the football, and so they've done that really well this year.
Second row left.
Morning, Coach.
Hi, good morning.
Tonight, Josh McDaniels, he's up for Assistant Coach of the Year. What would it mean to you if he was, presented with this honor?
Well, Josh has done a fantastic job, and usually any coach's success or recognition is going to come from the fact that the players executed, they played well, they did what was coached, and sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. But I would be extremely excited and happy for Josh if he were to win, just like I would be for Steph and Travion and Drake and everybody else.
Jordy Epstein on the far right.
Hi, Mike. Most coaches would want their players to have respect as a key value, but different coaches emphasize that differently. Your players have talked about how much you emphasize respect for staff and people who aren't players. Why is that important to you, and how do you decide when you want to emphasize that, whether with the towel story they were mentioning in training camp, the holiday decorations, or some of those other moments?
Well, thank you for referencing that. I appreciate that. There's never a bad opportunity to try to teach our players the same way that I was tried to be taught, or to grow the individual that we're around. We talk about the amount of time that we're around each other, and so would hope that they would have respect for the people in our building, the people that help them do their job. I'm sure they told you some good stories, but I'm lucky to coach them, and again, we all have our moments. We all have our moments of frustration. We all have our moments of being upset, and that's fine. It's just making sure that when we don't take those out on the people that around the building, and so we always talk about that. We always talk about having conversations and being able to ask questions and have meetings and find out where everybody stands. And so the respect that I ask them to show the equipment staff, the training staff, the interns, the cafeteria workers. I mean, those people are there well before the players are there, and they're there well after the players are there to make sure that the players have everything they need.
Second row, far left.
Mike, a lot of people are idolizing you guys in the Super Bowl, the players. I wonder who was your idol as a kid?
I mean, I was a basketball player. I liked Moses Malone. I liked Charles Barkley. I always tell Charles, he was one of my favorite basketball players. I like Bernie Kosar. I was just a big sports family that did a lot of things.
Mark Daniels in the front.
Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Hi, Mark.
You're working with a lot of coaches you've been with in the past, such as Todd Downing, who experienced the Super Bowl for the first time in his career. What does it mean for you to go through this Super Bowl experience with a lot of assistants who you previously put time in with?
Yeah, again, just try to put a good staff together for the players, and we talked about the knowledge that they have, being able to develop players and being able to inspire them with confidence and trust, guys that make connections. I think they've all done that. I think Todd's done a really, really good job with that wide receiver group. You can tell by their unselfishness. That's, every receiver wants the ball. Every receiver wants 150 targets a year. And that may or may not happen. And that group has provided us a lot of production, but from different guys. So it wasn't just one guy. It wasn't just Steph. Everybody contributed, and I think that has a lot to do with Todd. So the staff means a lot to me. Their families mean a lot to me. I know what they go through. I know the strain that sometimes is put on their families, and they do it because they love these players, they love football, and they love this team.
Sophie Weller, front row.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Soph.
I'm curious. You have a lot of young players on the roster, but specifically as it pertains to this rookie class, as you reflect on this season, what's it just been like to see their growth and now to have this opportunity to play in this game?
Yeah, I think it's gone really fast. I think since the time that we drafted them until now, it's gone it's quickly. And you have seen them mature. I think you've seen them become more comfortable. I think you see Travion talk yesterday about getting married and about just growing up, and you see Will developing, in this team, and Jared and Craig, and you don't really even look at them as rookies anymore after Thanksgiving. Now the team will tell you that they're going to still be rookies until, after their third game next year. But they don't act like rookies anymore. We don't look at them as rookies anymore. They've been contributors on this football team, and we're happy that they've helped us get us here.
Back row right.
Good morning, Mike.
Hi.
After your time with Tennessee and your time with Cleveland, did you say to yourself or make a conscious effort that you wanted to do something different next time you got the opportunity as the head coach? How do you think you've evolved as a head coach?
I just wanted to win more than what we did. That usually helps. The biggest thing that I learned is that I wanted nothing more than to be a head coach again, and just understand how important the connections are with the players and not losing sight of that, even as a head coach. When I was in my role in Cleveland, which I'm so grateful for, I had a lot of time to spend with assistant coaches. I had a lot of time to spend with players, with young players, with developmental players on Mondays and Tuesdays. My office wasn't upstairs where the coaching staff was or where the personnel department was. It was downstairs where the players in the training room and the weight room. So I kind of got back to the basics of just what this game's about and making connections, and it's about the people and getting the players to find ways to improve and to develop them and give them confidence. So maybe it wasn't something that I wanted to do differently, but it was just an affirmation of this is what's important.
Two final questions. We'll go a second row left, and then we'll end with Greg Bedard.
Mike, there's been a shift over the last decade or so with coaching philosophy about going for it on fourth down. It's kind of drastically changed. How has your view on that changed through the years, and how do you weigh the numbers, the percentages versus other factors in a game?
I think that's just what you have to do. You have to decide what type of game this is, how well, what the offense is doing, what you think about the play call, where it is on the field, what you feel like the game is going to require. Is it going to require some field goals? Is it going to be a low-scoring game, or is this going to be a game that we're going to have to score touchdowns in? And sometimes that's it kind of differs game to game. I think we've tried to be aggressive when we should. Probably just doing the best to marry the numbers up with how I feel like the game's going.
Hey, Mike, both of you guys in the Seahawks like to use stunts games up front. How big of a factor do you think that will be on Sunday about how the teams handle that? And also, how have you seen those evolve since you were a player?
Well, I think it'll be a huge factor in the game. They're pretty good at it. I'm not pretty good. They are really good at it. That's a strength of what they do. That's how they are able to apply pressure with a four-man rush. They can straight rush and guys work off of each other, but then guys work well together to get somebody else free, or even be the guy that gets free. They pick and they drive to the quarterback, and they make it difficult on you. So that'll be a huge factor in the game, our ability to protect those in passing downs and passing situations, and not let the guy get to the back hip of the lineman and then be able to drive, and then you create a 2-on-1. So they've probably evolved in just some of the way that we do it, as some of the other teams are doing it as well. And based on who you have, the personnel, I think it's driven by the style and what you're going to do, the game, or where you line up. Is it a linebacker doing it? Is it a defensive lineman, or is it a defensive end? So I would say that the body type probably dictates the technique in which you're going to use to try to pick or run a game. Thanks, guys.
Drake Maye is next.
All righty.
Hello, Drake.
Karen, what's going on?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Was there a point in the season where you kind of recognized or realized this team was special and had a chance to win a Super Bowl?
I think it's hard to maybe pinpoint one exact point. I know probably the win on the road at Buffalo was huge for us. I think just finding a way to win that game against a tough opponent, on the road, a team that's been, historically, great in playoffs. Had a playoff. I had a home game. I think win streak and be able to win there. But really, other than that, I think just the continued success on the road has been huge for us. Continued success on the road and trying to find a way to do it one more time here.
Front row on the right. Second row on the right.
Hi, Drake. Essentially, this Patriots team has gone essentially worst to first. Besides the obvious, what is the biggest year-to-year difference that you've seen in the building this year?
That's a great question. I think one of the biggest thing is I think winning helps. Winning helps, and I think just buying into the same belief in each other and, what Coach Vrabel's trying to get accomplished. I think from day one, I feel like the guys have really kind of took what Coach Vrabel was wanting to do with us and have just really applied it to their lives in every single way, whether it's on the field, off the field, getting treatment, doing little things, making great decisions off the field. I think that's the biggest thing is just, Coach Vrabel always says, he treats us how we treat the team. And I think that's how guys have taken this year. And I think it's just really, ride together and, want to play for each other. And, from there on, we just have had fun doing it, every single day since. And it's been a ride, and looking forward to, trying to finish it off.
Dan Roach, far left.
Morning, Drake.
Dan, what's going on?
All good, you?
Good, brother.
Just a follow-up to what you've been saying all week. Sunday turned a corner. Monday felt good. It looked on film yesterday that we saw that you looked really good in practice. How are you feeling, and how excited are you for putting on what you do on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm really excited. A chance to play in this game is a dream come true, and what you work for all year long. Like I said, I'm not trying to lie to you guys. I'm saying I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great, and looking forward to get out there. Out here today. Another week, another day of practice. Got one tomorrow, and feeling pretty good.
Mike Reese on the front right.
Hey, Drake. Sort of a two-part. What's been your favorite part of the week so far? And then when you drill down to the Seahawks defense, what do they do to put stress on you in terms of protecting the ball?
Yeah. Favorite part of this week is just, being with the teammates. Just being in the hotel for a week, getting to experience a lot of time. Had the O-line dinner last night, and it's experience. You feel like you're kind of living with, your best friends again in college or in training camp. Back in, high school, you feel like you're just around your teammates 24/7. It's something that makes the experience just, more special. And then the Seahawks defense, they do a great job of, playing fast. They swarm to the football. We got to protect it when we're running, and obviously they play some zone coverage, and they got eyes on the quarterback. Some tip balls. Got to make sure I'm being really accurate with the football, and obviously the rush is they got good players up front, so got to be careful in the pocket. But they're good at all three levels. We got a tough challenge. They play really fast, and looking forward to a good challenge.
Cameron Wolf, back row left.
Morning, Drake. How you doing?
Morning, brother. How are you?
You told us a lot about your family and the competitive nature there. Big game moment. Do you have a memory or a moment growing up that you think with your brothers prepares you for the pressure of Sunday?
I think just, every 2-on-2 basketball in the backyard probably prepared me for this. Just, the joy of it, but also the kind of the feeling you get of, accomplishing something that, me beating my older brothers or, having an opportunity to just compete at a high level, I think is the best thing. And just watching my older brother Luke and Cole and Bo just excel in sports growing up and, wanting the ball at the end of the games and, always, being the player that you felt like, if they play well, they won the game. And that's just how, that's the position I'm in now. And knowing that every game now comes with pressure, and this is part of this league, and, trying to, have the confidence in myself and just trusting myself and my teammates that we're going to get that done.
Front row right in the orange.
Drake, UMass Chan Boston and OHSU in Portland are working together to cure a rare fatal disease that's been terminal for 70 years. And they're only $2.5 million away from curing it. And there's a friendly competition between Pats Nation and 12s to see who can raise the most money for this disease called Pecan. What would you say to Pats Nation to raise more money than 12s?
Oh, any cause. Pats Nation, I'm sure they do a great job of, supporting, unfortunate, circumstances. As you mentioned, the disease. I know that they're going to show up. I'm, pushing them to do whatever they can to help somebody out and cure a disease that, sounds like is tough. And, anything that, I feel like can change a life, I know Pats Nation will be willing to do it.
Steve Burton, back row left.
Hey, Drake.
What's up, Steve?
Two-part question. One, your sweatshirt. What does it mean? And two, how have you helped Josh, and how has Josh helped you?
Yeah, the sweatshirt is something that in chapel, Mitch, our chaplain, has been saying, really all year long, and it's be a blessing. Just trying to shine light on others, spread the word, spread the good news, and it's kind of been a saying we've had all year long. So, Nike was kind enough to make some sweatshirts for the guys. We got, probably about 30 or 40 guys wearing the sweatshirt around. It's a cool thing. And then, Josh has meant the world. I think just of how he's come in and just shared his knowledge. Willing to share his experiences. Even a week like this week, where he's played in this game coming up 10 times. It's pretty cool how much knowledge he knows about kind of the competitive stamina it takes with kind of the longer timeouts, the longer pregame, kind of what it takes for just kind of having the like I said, the stamina to play in this game at a high level, the emotion and all it takes. And for me, how have I helped him? I just try to execute his plays to the best of my ability and try to help the guys get on track. And I think we've done a solid job of that, and looking forward to trying to do that one more time.
Mark Daniels in the front row on the right.
Hey, Drake. Good morning. You and Will Campbell grew really close this season. Other than him protecting your blind side, what is it about him that made you two become fast friends?
I think it just, like I said, the biggest thing all year long is we're kind of in the same boat. He was a first-round draft pick, left college early, grew up in the South. He's got we got the same Southern accent. He sounds a little more country than I do, but no, he's up here living and first time living in the North. Probably hadn't seen snow as much, or maybe at all his entire life, and now he's driving in it and little things. So just trying to find time and find a place for me to welcome into the to our team and to the Patriots, and know how huge he has been for us and how huge we would be how big it would be for us down the road. So other than that, he's he's always pretty grumpy, but he's fun. He's fun to be around. He's kind of he's got a little sarcasm comments, and he doesn't take any crap. That's the biggest thing I like about Will. On the field and even off the field. I try to tell him he's my rook, but he doesn't go for it. But I'm gonna remind him that his whole career.
Sophie Willer, front row left.
Hi, Drake.
How are you?
Good. How about you?
Good.
I'm curious, not just with Will, but the entire rookie class, obviously on both sides of the ball. Just what have you seen from them this season through their growth and just to be able to get now to have this experience in the Super Bowl in just 1 year?
Yeah, I think it's a quick, the ability to adapt quickly. I think that gives credit to our coaching staff, gives credit to them. Trayvon's coming off a national championship, and now he's here playing in the Super Bowl. So it's probably felt like a long season for them. They talk about the rookie wall, and I feel like the biggest thing about those guys is, I haven't seen any break in them at all. They make plays for us every week. Craig Woodson on defense, on the side of the ball, Ponder, guys that have make plays all year long. Andy and the special teams. So there's these guys like that in our rookie class have just showed up, week in and week out, and it's credit to them because I know, last year how it felt different from college, and now we're in week 20-something here, and in college you play 12 games and you're done, unless you got something after the postseason. But really, I just credit to them for showing up every day and learning the style of a new culture and being in a new environment. And like I said, we're going to need them big on Sunday, and they showed up every week.
Jory Epstein on the far right.
Hi, Drake. Every coach, in theory, wants their players to respect the staff in the building, but your teammates have mentioned how much Mike Vrabel intentionally tells you all that. What are some examples of times you can think of this year when Vrabes has really sent y'all a message about respecting the staff, not just the coaches and players in the building?
One of the first things that comes to mind is, we use rags in the showers. In one of the first meetings, he said, you leave rags in the showers for the equipment guys to come in here and pick up after yourself. He's not going to wash the rags, and I don't blame him. Something little like that it's probably a little bit TMI, but, little things like that, picking after yourself, and that somebody else has to pick up after you. And even here at the security, a lot of us probably have short-tempered, and saying, hey, we play on the team, why do we need a badge around here? But one of the first meetings he said, hey, we should have no problems with badges, showing our badges, everybody's got to do it. And just little things like that go a long way of, treating other people right, and Coach Vrabel's the best at it, of just giving people credit in the facility that do extra work, and trying to give $100 here, $100 there. That Coach Vrabel always says is it works out in the long run, and it's bigger for them than how much they do for us.
Front row left.
Hi, Drake.
Hey, how are you?
I actually spoke to you last year in London, and that was your second career start back then. How would you reflect on your personal growth from that point till today? Yeah,
that felt like a long while ago, but so many things have changed, and just trying to learn the ins and outs of the league, and I still don't know as much as a lot of people do in here, but trying to figure out what's at stake and how much work needs to put in to come up with wins in the win column, and that's the biggest thing of how much work it takes and how much one play here, one play there can change the outcome. From there on the field, just feel like bouncing back from mistakes, kind of learning that that's going to happen in this league, and trusting yourself to go make a play the next time is the biggest thing. And then from there, just growing one more year of teammates and new teammates, and what a year it's been with the guys we have in this locker room, and I'm so fortunate to have those guys, and just looking forward to building something pretty special with them.
Middle row on the right.
Hi, Greg. Nice to meet you. Quick question. You've been on a historic run this postseason of playing the best defenses in the league, and they all schematically are really different. How did they help you to prepare for this game against the Seahawks defense? That's really special in what they do on the defensive side, especially regarding pass protection, and how you guys prepare for that.
Yeah, we've played some great defenses. Some defenses that deserve the credit that they've gotten, and I think Seattle's just another one of them. They've played well all year long. They're statistically one of the best defenses in the league, and I think you see that on film. You see how much effort they play with, how well they play together, how well they're coached, and I think it's just another chance for us to prove why we belong here. And it's just we just try to keep on going on to the next one. And Coach McDaniel's warned us that these defenses will just keep getting better and better, and it's nothing we haven't seen, because the Seattle obviously plays at a high level and they're different players, but we've seen some good defenses, and looking forward to another good matchup.
There are two final questions. Albert Breer in the back, and we'll end with Taylor Kyles.
Hey, Drake, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
So have you talked to any quarterbacks about what
Sunday will be like and how it might be different than any other game you've ever played in? And if so, what was the best advice you've got?
Yeah, I think Coach McDaniels has probably been the best with, experience in that. Coaching so many quarterbacks, really just one quarterback in this game for so long, and just knowing, the emotions of even just running out there the first time and how much, kind of how cool the moment is, but at the same time how much you're like, man, this is it. This is what we're here for. Like I said before in here, Peyton's reached out to me after, Denver and had some, good tips about trying to keep, some of my rhythm, my schedule the same, but really, other than that, just trying to do whatever I can. One more time, one more week. We have 2 weeks of prep and got a couple days here now to do whatever I can this time to, kind of fine tune the things and kind of dot the I's, cross the T's, and get ready for the game.
Last question, Taylor Kyle's far left.
Morning, Drake. You've done a lot of damage this postseason with your legs and against the Seahawks defense where they've been pretty competitive, negative and positive against those kinds of plays. How do you walk that line of still wanting to use your mobility, but also wanting to keep your eyes downfield and try to extend plays as well?
Yeah, try to remain a passer as long as I can. I think kind of on film it's tough to pinpoint, hey, I can maybe use my legs this week. It's kind of something that just comes naturally. I think that's the biggest thing for me when I'm back there in the pocket. If I feel like something's there, I go try to take it, and try to play instinctive. That's what we always say in the offensive room. Try to play with instincts and try not to think too much. So I try not to predetermine or say, hey, I'm going to take off and run on this one. If I feel like there's a chance for me to make some yards, I'm going to go and try to make them. And then, from there, just got to be, protect myself, but try to remain a passer as long as I can because those guys, are open, and even when they're not open, they make plays on the football. So they got a chance to, run a lot farther than I can.
Thank you, Drake.
Awesome.
Want to do this?
Another advantage, having so much time to prepare for the Seahawks.
Getting healthy. Like if you had any nicks or bruises or stuff that was bothering you, I think 10 days is a lot of time to try to get whatever it was bothering you good. Like I felt great before. I feel like I'm in a better spot now. You know what I'm saying? Just getting fresher and fresher. It's like kind of like when you're going into training camp, when you feel your best, those first 2-3 days and then your body start wearing down. I think 10 days is an adequate amount of time to kind of start getting right.
Exude too much energy during practice so you have enough for a game.
What a weird thing is you're trying to get tired. Like I kind of thought about it as you will have heightened emotions in the game, before the game, pre-game. People get excited, your adrenaline's running. So I really try to get as close as that during practice as I can. Like the first beginning of practice and having no lull and just keeping my energy high. And, I try to get as tired as I can, like just because it's going to be like that. So instead of trying to save it, you rather just empty the tank, rebuild during the next day or the night before, and just build it off that way.
Now you're here and you're part of this cool world, but obviously you're here to win a football game.
Yeah, I really actually never thought about the Super Bowl until I got in the league. Like when you're young, I feel like you have like your smaller world problems, like going to practice, remembering your mouthpiece, like remember your equipment. So I never actually thought about it until I got as close to it as I could. When I got in the league, it's like, damn, when you start seeing people go to the Super Bowl and you had a chance, and we lost in the playoffs my first year against Seattle, like a 26-yard field goal. So at that time, I'm not thinking about the Super Bowl. I'm like, this, damn, I wish we would have won that game. And then you watch other people go throughout the years. The closer I got, the more I thought about it. So it was kind of like that kind of thing. And at this point, rejoice. You have a moment to be like, damn, you're going. But what's the point of going if you ain't trying to win nothing? If you ain't trying to leave with something, what Denzel said, I'm leaving with something. I'm trying.
Buffalo is a big part of your football journey.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you to see them let go of Sean? And what were your thoughts when you saw Josh so emotional after that game?
Yeah, it was definitely part of my journey. It was crazy that, I haven't been there in a long time. Got a lot of respect for Sean McDermott. He's a hell of a coach. Of course, I was surprised because kind of held that defense together for a very long time. I think before he got there, they didn't have like a playoff win or something like that, or went to the playoffs in a very long time. And he went, I think, 7, 8 years in a row. I don't know how long he was there. I know the little bit of information that I do. So I was really surprised. You know, he's a good coach. I think he's going to be fine. He'll end up somewhere. You know, everybody loves a good coach, and I got a lot of respect for him as a man. But then as far as like with the emotional side with Josh, like, I mean, he's a quarterback. You know, I expect everybody to be emotional. Like, I'm sure a lot of people on that team cried many tears. You know, I cried many tears when I was there. Winning and losing and shit it's not a good feeling. So I wasn't surprised. I mean, the game means a lot to everybody that's playing it, especially a quarterback. A guy like that, you know, he give it everything that he got. So I'm not surprised. You know, it's an emotional game. What?
The jersey.
What's wrong? Repping who?
Child. On the way, maybe.
Why you say that? No, this my actual jersey. No, it's been like this all year. You just won't notice it because like I'm so like, you know. Yes, sir. Nice to see you, by the way.
Good to see you too, man. It's been sort of an enduring mystery in Buffalo. Why you guys kind of parted ways.
Yeah.
From your perspective, why did that happen?
I really think it was just, you know, the business side of it. Like, obviously, I was under contract. More of like the personal side. A lot of things happen behind closed doors. Like, I never really get into it. Like, I never got into it since I got in the league. Like, my departure in Minnesota, I never spoke on. My departure in Buffalo, I never spoke on. It's just, I feel like I keep business business. Like, I keep in-house business. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows what happened, the people that were in the room, and I kind of leave it at that. I try not to keep it in the public because telling your side of the story won't win nobody over. I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a lot of respect for people. I like to leave it on the basis of I have respect for those people. These are people that I call my brothers and my family. You know what I'm saying? And, like, if we all got family here, you know, family business is family business. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't take it outside. Even if things don't go right or that kind of thing, like, I would never try to tear anybody down. I would never try to, woe is me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like both parties moved on how it was supposed to, and, like, I kind of just took it for what it was. So, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't utter words, and I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. At that point, I said I wanted to finish my career in Buffalo. You know, it didn't happen that way. You know, that's part of the business. It just happens. It happens that way. We're not in the 1970s and the 80s where guys on one team for the rest of their career. It happens that way. So, I'm a big guy that rolls with the punches. It just happens, and I have appreciation and a love and respect for those guys over there. I'm never going to change my mind. I'm never going to say something else. I ain't out here trying to write a book on what happened, so it's all good.
Quarterbacks, you've been on good teams and you've had some tough situations.
All right, it wasn't that bad.
What does it mean to you to find the Patriots at this point in your career? Because it seems like overall it's really been a perfect scenario for you.
I mean, I had some good quarterbacks. I mean, it's weird because I didn't come from that. Like, when I came from college, I was playing with 5 quarterbacks. I had a linebacker throwing me the ball. Like, I have a lot of experience with many different quarterbacks, so learn to roll with the punches. You know, since I got in the league, I played with some good ones, though. I had Teddy Bridgewater to start off. Yeah, Sam Bradford was an amazing quarterback. Case, who else? Kirk Cousins was a good quarterback. I mean, I just feel like I got a luck of the draw. You know what I'm saying? I had to go through it early on in my life as far as, like, what quarterback play. But when I got in the league, I had some good guys. So I just feel like it kind of led me up to this point. I mean, another young quarterback, a young star. Look at him go. So I'm excited to be where I am right now, and it's what a better time.
Great, really even keel, right? Really quiet, don't seem a lot of emotion. You see it behind the scenes. What's the most emotional he's been seen in the season, and did it surprise you? If you show some emotion, to show a little bit and show a little bit of him.
I can barely hear you. Forgive me.
What's the most emotional you've seen Drake this season? More of a kind of an even keel kind of guy.
After a win, especially after the AFC Championship win when he ran for that first down. And then, like, you know, Baltimore game, you know, guys like that. He's just a quarterback that kind of gives the credit to everybody else. But as a receiver, I would like to give him more credit than he actually, you know, takes. He can run, he can throw, he can jump, he can cut, he can make people miss. He does a lot from that quarterback position that's extremely special. And when you see that guy get emotional, it's more so on the good side. You know what I'm saying? When things aren't going right, he just like, damn, like, we're going to get to the next one. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's part of our job as receivers and guys like that to keep them even kill. You know what I'm saying? Your next play, your best play.
Idolized, really looked up to.
I didn't really. I played running back growing up. I never played receiver, so I didn't start playing receiver till like my 10th, 11th grade in high school. So I was more like a Reggie Bush, Adrian Peterson. watching running backs. Everybody was like a Michael Vick fan. I watched a lot of basketball too, like a lot of Allen Iverson. So my favorite ever, NBA player was Kobe Bryant. So I didn't watch too many receivers. When I got in the league is when I started kind of figuring it out a little bit more and, watching guys and kind of like taking little bits and pieces here and there.
It's a fashion. Before the first day of school, you lay out your outfit. It's the Super Bowl. What can you say about how you're going to choose your accessories, your cleats, and is that something you're going to do, lay everything out?
It's already done. I already did that. I did that 5 days ago after the AFC Championship. I said, let's figure it out now so we ain't waiting. But I got a couple surprises coming. I look forward to sharing them. Coming soon.
He said he doesn't have a dog in this fight. A guy who won 6 Super Bowls in New England. Did that surprise you at all? And do you think that former players are normally, still hold that allegiance to their former teams?
I don't think so. I think everybody's situation different. Like, I think does Tony Romo still pull for the Cowboys? You know what I'm saying? I'd be surprised. I think Peyton Manning still loves Denver. I don't hear him say too much about the Colts, but everybody's different. Like, I don't really think too much about it. Everybody's opinion is everybody's opinion. Like, Tom won a lot in New England. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's also, I think he's part owner of the Raiders. I don't expect him to have a dog in a fight in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Your time with a team doesn't, determine your future, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised. I don't really care about what other people feel or what they think. You know what I'm saying? He's a Hall of Fame quarterback, one of the best to ever play the game. I got a lot of respect for him. I was always a huge fan of him.
In our Spanish accounts.
Buenos días.
Patriots Español, Spanish Patriots. In our Spanish accounts, your pre-game speeches got a lot of attention. Do you think about it before you say them, or just improvise?
Right before the game, whatever I'm thinking about, however the week went, whatever my coach echoed, I try to echo that and put my own little twist to it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't thinking too much about it. I just say what I mean and mean what I say. I wish I could say it in Spanish.
I'm gonna show you a play. You know this play. You were about to enter the league when this play happened. What's your general memory of this?
I was just surprised like everybody else. I was surprised they didn't run a football in.
Do you remember where you were?
Nah. I remember the play, though, clear as day, and then the play before that, they had got to stop, and I think that's what made them throw the ball because they tried to run it, they didn't get it. I think they was just trying to, let's run the play that we ran in practice, and it didn't work.
Finally, I'm going to show you some food, American food versus Mexican food for the big game. You have to tell me this or that, okay? So, cheddar cheese or guacamole?
I'm not a huge guac fan. So cheese, cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese, okay.
Nachos, essentially.
Hot dogs or tamales?
Tamales. Forgive me, I always mimic anybody's accent. I'm going cheeseburger every time, sorry.
Cheeseburger, okay. Hawaiian pizza or tacos al pastor?
Tacos. No arroz con pollo. I need some of that.
I didn't get that. Hot wings or soft wings?
I'm going hot wings, lemon pepper hot.
Okay. American nachos or Dorilocos? This mix is a little bit off. It's a little bit spicy.
I like spicy, so I'm going to go with that.
And American soda or horchata
I've
water?
never had horchata. Or, what is it? What do they drink during, Christmas time?
No,
Conquito?
in every moment of the year.
I never had none of that.
It's really sweet.
I'll try, I'm down for it. I'll try any food for real, but I'm going American soda. I love me a Pepsi. I really like Coke, but I'm going to say Pepsi.
Thank you very much.
No doubt, thank you.
Has it been, in a sense, frustrating, or you learned to embrace with all the media attention about your personal life? I mean, obviously you're a football player, but so many people are so interested in your personal life. How have you sort of taken that stance? Is that something you just learned to embrace, or wish that they just let you be yourself and have your own personal life?
It comes with the territory, especially if you become somebody, you know what I'm saying, you're good at what you do, you're a public figure, and then if you're dating somebody that's a public figure as well, something you kind of got to have a learning curve with. I don't imagine it staying around that much longer, you know what I'm saying. I end up disappearing eventually, you know what I'm saying. I'm not I only do it because it's part of my job, like social media and stuff like that, but I don't mind it, you know what I'm saying. I really want to go to Keanu Reeves route, you know what I'm saying, and you only see me when you see me, you know what I'm saying, but I don't mind it at all. I take it with a grain of salt. These are not people that know me in no way, shape personally, so it's just like, all right, when people have opinions or opinion-based about your life, it's cool. Like, you roll with the punches. It's not like I was about to curse, but it's not like I care for real, but it's all good.
Career individually.
It was all right.
You're enjoying it? Good.
See,
And then to finally, at this stage in your career, get to the ultimate goal of playing in a game like this.
Well, the ultimate goal wasn't getting here. The ultimate goal was winning one. So I feel like it's a long time coming. What a better time. You know what I'm saying? It's been a hell of a year. Been a part of a hell of a team, hell of a coaching staff. You know, I'm not really with the storybook endings. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully this one ends right. I got a lot more football in front of me too, though. So get a good stab at it. This is one of my opportunities. I hope that I can take full advantage of.
Time in both Buffalo and Minnesota, you made a couple of conference championships, but weren't quite able to get over that hump. What does it mean to you to finally get over that hump and make it to the Super Bowl this year, and why was it this team that did it?
It means a lot to me. I look at it as like any of those teams could have went to the Super Bowl. Like I feel like we had a great team in Minnesota. We had a great team in Buffalo. It's a team sport. This isn't boxing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody plays a part, and you can't pick one thing on why a team lost a game or won a game. You know what I'm saying? I just think about this. This is how it happened for me. I can't really dress it up or make it sound any sweeter than that. You know what I'm saying? We got an opportunity now. Some good things happen for us. We had a tough road. Like, people kind of talk about our schedule during the regular season, but when you play in the playoffs, those are the best teams in the playoffs. There's nobody better than the teams in the playoffs. We've had a little bit of success. You know what I'm saying? We end up winning those games. You know what I'm saying? Some tough, hard-fought games. So I feel like we got a great opportunity, and we earned the opportunity.
And former players that you played with. What's the favorite message you received from a former teammate on a former team when you made the Super Bowl?
Not a lot of my teammates made the Super Bowl.
Anyone reach out to you when you made the Super Bowl?
They said congrats and stuff like that, but not a lot of the guys I played with made it. But I had one teammate, and he played with us in Minnesota. He played in Philly. He was just talking a little bit about how the pregame works and your adrenaline and stuff like that, be able to control your breathing. That was one of the main things he said. But other than that, I haven't talked to nobody. Nobody reached out to me, but not a lot of the guys I ever played with went to the Super Bowl. Or I just don't really speak to them anyway, so.
Louisiana natives with the Minnesota Miracle. What do you remember about that, you know, looking back on it all these years later, and how did it change your life, perhaps?
That year was a up and down year for me. People don't really speak about it. Like, I ended up having a decent year, but I wasn't getting the opportunity that I felt like I really deserved or I feel like I worked for. And I was just thankful when that happened. That moment, I was crying after because it's like, shit, like, this is what you work hard for. You got to trust God, trust your process. You know what I'm saying? You never know how it's going to shake out. Hopefully, Louisiana not still mad at me, but I was just thankful for where I'm at now. And that moment, it was just like a damn, like, God don't make no mistakes. But then I never forget the week after that, we got the dog shit beat out of us. So kind of like a bittersweet.
I mean, Mike Vrabel said to you guys, family is huge, the people that got you here. Like, he embraced it, right? A lot of coaches might not do that. And now they're coming in this weekend. How important was it for you guys to become a team and to have your family around and have the support of your coach doing that?
Yeah, he does a great job at that. I feel like I spoke about a little bit like the business side of it. This game is all about business, you know what I'm saying? Like, good, bad, or indifferent. People don't get mad at teams when they move on from players. But people get mad at players when they move on from teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the nature of the business. Nobody really talks about that. But the fun thing or interesting thing about here, our coach embraces that you want your family around. Like, long as it's not a distraction, long as it's not taken away from the team, he's all for it because he's a family man. He has his sons around, his wife around. He cracks a lot of jokes. He builds that environment that kind of makes it feel like we're all one. So the fact that your coach embraces it, you want to be a part of it, you're thankful for it. And when you build that family mindset, you just don't want to let your family down. So it's just something that we appreciate as players. I do, at least. I'm a big family man, so I'm just thankful to be in the position I'm in.
Getting closer, and you're like, okay, guys.
I've been cut it off before they even got out here. They're supposed to come out here today, but I got Janelle, Silas, Sonny, my assistant. She handles everybody's flying and travel and all that, so I don't typically deal with all that just because, like, I don't have the time and I don't have the mental fortitude. I don't want to be getting an attitude with my mom about where her room was or something like that, so I let her handle all that. I take care of the expenses, and I say I'll see y'all when I see y'all.
Steph, we talked earlier in the year about the Hall of Fame. You and I talked about the potential of making the Hall of Fame. The thing that you told me was the last thing I need is a chance for that. How much does that thought process inform your thinking going into this weekend?
I don't think about it too much just because it's like an individual accolade, and I know this is a team sport. I just know that it helped my case a little bit. I always wanted that, though. Like, I'm never going to shun or run away from wanting to be a Hall of Famer or wanting to be a guy that played this game and be respected. So I don't run from that, but I just know this will help your case a little bit. I know a player like Mike Evans, who's been to multiple Super Bowls, had a lot of success in this league. In my eyes, that's a Hall of Famer. And in everybody's eyes, he should be a Hall of Famer. So I just know I'm chasing a lot of great receivers. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a part of something, and I think this will be I don't know, like a little boost, I guess. I hope. Shit, you never know. Hall of Fame is getting a little weird these days. You never know.
I talked to a handful of guys who are over 30 on this team. Hunter, Morgan. What's the level?
Old asses.
What's the level of appreciation for you to be able to get to a game of this magnitude at this point in your career?
It's kind of, I was saying, like, it's bittersweet. Like, if I had it earlier, would I have appreciated it? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? I look at the guys in their first year that going to a Super Bowl, I'm like this. Y'all just don't know. Y'all don't know how hard it is, huh? But then you see a guy like Travion who came off a national championship and come here and win a Super Bowl, or to go to a Super Bowl, ability to win a Super Bowl. Lucky him. Good for him. Everybody's journey is different. I told him, like, you know, this opportunity doesn't come a lot in the NFL. This ain't Ohio State. But he has a great approach. He's been working hard all week. I know that we got a great group of guys. For me, I'm just appreciative. I'm thankful to be where I'm at. And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a good take in the moment kind of guy. I like to let it digest after the fact and just work hard. So we'll revisit this probably like after the game, and I'll let you know.
How much can you share with guys like that about the level of appreciation? Because this is, like Hunter was telling me, this is hard to do. To be able to get here, and you have to be a little bit lucky. You have to get
a little bit. You need a little bit.
Yeah, but how much of that can you share with those guys? And how much can they take in this moment?
I think they believe it, though. Like, I don't say much to those guys, especially young players. Like, I really don't even speak to them. I might crack a joke here and there, but when I do speak, I really try to give them a gem or something worth thinking about. But I think they've had a great approach. Like, they understand that everybody's journey is different. You know what I'm saying? I think they understand how fortunate they are, thankful they are. Just because they weren't in the league, they see teams that ain't been in the NFL or been in the NFL who haven't been in a Super Bowl. So I think they understand that. You know what I'm saying? I can only hope so, and I think they appreciate it. They've been working hard, and the guys who are over 30, still playing well, still playing at a high level. I know they appreciate it being here.
Have you gotten a chance to play basketball with them? Any other sports?
Yeah, I busted his ass in the offseason. Hold on one second. Busted his ass in the offseason. When we had that offseason throwing session, yeah, we were in North Carolina. We played a little basketball in one of the Airbnbs. Yeah. Ask him about it. Yeah. I don't know. One of my friends actually did throw an alley-oop. It wasn't on him, though, but he can't beat me. Amazing. I think he's going to be a real good player in this league for years to come. You know, he showed that prowess and that quarterback mindset, that general mindset coming in, and I'm just proud of him up to this point. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he continue to make his family proud and keep being a player and becoming a player I know he can be. Yeah, he's full of jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an older guy, but his maturation process has been real too. Like, you can see it. Thank you so much. But I'm just happy to be a part of it, for real, for real.
Vegas Sports today.
What's up, bro?
How you doing, man? So, first game didn't start out so well against the Raiders. Tell me about the maturation process. You guys coming together as brothers this season. What you learned from that game one all the way to now?
Game one, shit. It was like throughout camp, we worked on a lot of things, and it was there. We were just waiting for it to click, for real. Game two, who did we play? That's when it kind of started getting the ball rolling a little bit. Like, okay, we showed some fight. We went to Miami. It was hot. Guys were hurting. Guys were tired. We ended up mustering out a win, a tough one. You know what I'm saying? Some good special teams play, a pick late. You know, it was just some good ball. I think that we were like, all right, now let's try to get this thing rolling. Boom, another setback. Third game, I think it was the Steelers. Lost to that game. So the loss is like, all right, we got to try to figure out how we can get this show on the road and get some consistency. So I think, but those losses kind of taught us a lot.
How's this stretch in your career just been so incredible? I mean, this win streak has been beautiful. You ever think it would happen?
I didn't really think about it that way, just because each week is different. Each team is different. And they move the goalposts every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody say you're not supposed to beat this team. You beat this team. They're not good. They're good. For us, I feel like we just took it week by week. We won some games. We did win a significant amount of games. We lost some games, too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody fell in that trap of we weren't supposed to be a good team or we weren't supposed to win more than 7 or 8 games. And anything after that, it was like, I guess they called us lucky. Good for us. I'd rather be on this side than the other one.
Funniest things to watch this year, right, has been you and Vrabel. Thank you so much. Like you and Vrabel.
Yeah, I'll tackle it.
Like before at stretch, right? You pop up, he says something to you, he starts walking away, you give him a little shove in the back. Like, what is going on?
I ain't
there?
scared of him. I ain't scared of him. Everybody else is scared of him. I'm not scared of him. I got a lot of respect for him. He played the game. He's a Hall of Fame player. Like, he's an amazing athlete. Like, shit, I got a lot of admiration. Like, he's a little bit of inspiring, too. Like, he caught some passes. He played defense, did a little bit of everything. He's a ball player. So, and he matches aggression. Like, he coming from that defensive side of the ball. He has that mindset. And, you know, just something about it that gets us all going. You know what I'm saying? For me, it definitely gets me going because I feel like before the game, he got that, like, coaching, like, demeanor. But you can feel underneath that he was a player, and he wish he could probably get out there and mix it up a little bit. Yeah. I ain't scared of him. No, I'd tackle him right now. I'm just messing. Yeah.
One of the best receivers in the game.
Thanks,
you
man.
had still had people doubting you. Then you came off a tough season last year, had the ACL injury, and people have been saying you're too old to come off the ACL, and now you're here finally in your stage of career after the injury and being that old, quote unquote. Does that make you feel proud? And what was the journey like for you to finally be here?
No, not too proud. Not yet, at least. It's been a long year. Everybody around me says I got a lot to be proud for, but more so I'm just thankful. You know, being able to get right, get healthy. God's put his hands on me. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely pushed me throughout this journey, good, bad, or indifferent. People opinion, a lot of shit was opinion-based. Like, they say you are, or say you're not good, or say you can't do that. And, you know what I'm saying, I had a pretty good season, a decent season. You know what I'm saying? And I just look at it as, and I was back doing what I can and playing at a high level, being a part of this team. I had some games where I could really just show you what I can do on a consistent basis. Like, but we have such a great team. I'm a part of a great team, a great unit that a lot of people can make plays. A lot of guys can do X, Y, Z. So I just try to do my part. I'm not trying to prove it to nobody but myself because, shit, the same people that say you wash or say you're not good enough will be like, wow, I'm surprised, or change their opinion fast. You know what I'm saying? It's a show more than a tail business. And I'm into proving myself right, not nobody wrong. So I am who I say I am. I still get open. I still can catch the ball. I'm still Stephon Diggs.
Is this the quickest you feel like the relationship has grown with a head coach in, 10, 11 months' time in your career, high school, college, NFL?
Yeah, probably, more than likely. I got a lot of coaches that I respect and have a good relationship with, but he's one of the guys that I say, like, it happened pretty fast. Probably just because how the team was built, like the 4 H's and stuff like that. When you let people into your personal life and be vulnerable to people, it's just like you kind of like have a lot of respect and like admiration for them when they accept you for who you are. And I feel like he's just a good ass coach. You know, I'm somebody that hopefully I can hear from while I'm playing, and when I'm done playing, I'll still be able to check on him.
How much of your success do you attribute to him?
He's calling the plays. I mean, I got to give him at least 80%. But he's a hell of a coach. He's been in this game for a long time. He knows exactly what he's doing. He moves all the pieces in the right spot. Probably just because when I got hurt, I mean, I told myself I was stronger than it. I'm going to beat it. I'll be just fine. And, you know, I can't hang my head too long. You know, I can't be in the dumps. I can't be sad. I just got to get up, work, try to make the best of my situation, and I knew I would be fine. I wasn't really worried about it. I said, shit, the worst has happened already. You already tore your shit, so work your way back, get as healthy as you can, and start figuring out your life once you start feeling decent. So I'm ready to go. I've been practicing. We got 2 practices in, another one today. I look forward to going to practice, tightening up these screws.
Josh was just talking about how this defense, if you guys have 70 plays offensively, 65 of them, the defense might look the same before the ball is snapped. How much of a challenge is that for somebody who plays your position to understand just how your routes should be developing against that defense?
You got to train your mind during the week to play post-snap, don't play pre-snap. I mean, earlier in the season, middle of the season, you can look at it pre-snap, get a little glance and be like, all right, they're in this. I'm pretty sure it's way harder for the quarterback. You know, for me, I'm looking at it, I ain't got to really do nothing but run 1 or 2 routes. Quarterback, you got to make a check. You got to make sure you're seeing things. And for me, I'm just training my eyes and making sure that whatever my stem is or whatever my focus is, I'm looking at it post-snap and not pre-snap because they're going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? It all might look the same, and it's not the same. So for me, I try to look at it that way, and it usually works out pretty good. I've been in the league a little while now. Not too much I haven't seen. A lot of defenses, the most difficult defenses I've seen is like a Steve Spags defense where guys are spinning around, circling, running, and I think early in my career, a couple teams kind of like play with my eyes a lot, but at this point, it's not too much I haven't seen. I was visualizing it right now, so my bad. I was staring off into space. No, I've been wearing this. I broke my finger like 8 weeks ago, so it's been a little fat. And you know I'm a halfway hand model, so I'm trying to make sure it just looks nice. That's all. So you've been dealing with it? Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. It been broke, but I ain't complaining. I play receiver. Look at Torrey Holt's hands.
Last thing I want to ask you. Yeah. You talked about how it's a lot harder for Drake than it is for you guys. Looking at the defense that you're going to see, how important is it, I guess, for you then to get open early to make his job, his life a little bit easier?
It's all about timing. You're 100% right. I feel like it's hard for a quarterback to begin with before the play start. You don't want to make it any harder on a post-snap not being where you're supposed to be when his eyes are taken to you. So for me, I kind of have somewhat of an understanding of that. I just want to be available and somewhere where he can see me. You know, that's a big, tall quarterback, too. I think he'll be all right. Anytime. Always. Financial flags? As far as what? Oh, flex? Good for him.
Other guys say, I go to the facility to save money or stuff like that. But something creative, like a one-liner or two-liner. What's your biggest financial flex?
Shit, I done made some money. I done spent some money. I don't know. I lived a great life. I done spent a lot of money, bro. You can ask my financial advisor.
What's your financial philosophy? Like, you save money?
Oh, yeah, I got some money put up. I got kids, so, you know what I'm saying, anything happen to me, they're more than fine.
And then what's one NFL team you grew up a diehard fan?
The Cowboys.
All right, where did Dak Prescott go to college?
Texas A&M. And I was a Tony Romo guy. He wasn't there when I liked him. There we go. Yeah.
Where did Tony Romo go to college? Do you remember?
Shit, I don't know. He's old as shit.
That's respect.
Shit, they came in ready to play. I mean, that's more for scouting and people who, you know, watch them in college. I saw them a little bit in college, but I don't really got my eyes too close to it. I feel like they picked the right guys to bring in here as far as like being professionals and guys that want to win and guys who are ready to play. So that's why I think they had a lot of success. You know, they're professionals. They work hard. They come from, you know, good backgrounds. They're decent kids. So I think they helped this team tremendously throughout this year, and they're going to continue to.
Do you have a top 5, like Mount Rushmore Maryland football players?
Joe Hayden, Lewis Young, definitely Lewis Young, definitely Joe. Who else is pretty good? Thinking, man. It was all right. It was cool. When I went to school with, it was cool. I ain't really think, I'm telling you who I think was nice. Kendall Fuller. Trying to think of one more. Maybe defense. I don't know. I never made him out Rushmore, for real. I don't really think about other people, for real, but I'll get back to you on the 5th. Shout out to my man, all the Fullers, though, and Lewis.
What are you working on in this journey to get here? What are the biggest things that you're thinking about, people you're thinking about? Do you think about just the people that support you, doubters? Like, what's kind of the mindset for you finally achieving this goal, but knowing that the biggest goal is Sunday?
Say right now, I don't think about nothing. I don't think about nobody. I don't think about my past. I don't think about nothing that I went through. I don't need to be motivated to go play in this game. I don't need any extra fuel. You know what I'm saying? I worked extremely hard. I've been playing football since I was 5. This is what I do. This has been me, and it's going to be me until I do something else. I don't think I need to drive myself up a wall to be like, a million people doubted me. They still doubted me. They doubted me from the get-go. I don't think that moves the needle for me anymore. At this point, the driving force is I want to be the best I could be. That's why I come in with the right mindset. That's why I work as hard as I do. That's why I'm 32 years old and I came off a halfway decent season. You know what I'm saying? Coming off an ACL. I don't need no more extra motivation. I try to empty the space in my brain for all the bullshit and work each and every day. You know what I'm saying? Be the example, lead from the front and the back, and be thankful. You know what I'm saying? Could have went another way.
this year in the receiver room of being selfless. At what point did you kind of come in and say, stats don't matter, I'm going to set an example, and we collectively as a group have a chance to do something that's much bigger than I or anybody else could do as an individual? When did that click, and how much does it mean to you that you're looked at as the leader of this offensive line?
I did it before the season even started. When I was being interviewed and I had played it down, and people were just asking me, like, what do you think your stats are going to be this season and X, Y, Z, and I was like, shit, I don't know. I can't tell you. I went in with the mindset of being unselfish because I've been around this game. I know what it's like, and I was a little familiar with McDaniel's offense. You know what I'm saying? I seen guys eat. I seen them spread the ball around. So I came in with the mindset I wasn't trying to add any unnecessary pressure on myself or those around me, or make anybody feel uncomfortable. These young players are stars. You know what I'm saying? Pop Douglas can play ball. Kyle Williams is a good player. Keyshawn Boutte is a star. You know what I'm saying? Mac Williams been in the league a long time making plays. For me, you don't want nobody to feel uncomfortable because you think you're owed something. Everything that you get is you work for. You know what I'm saying? You earn it. I think Vrabel did a great job at that too. Like, you get what you earn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work hard, you block, and you unselfish, you'll get opportunities. I think I end up coming out with a little bit more opportunity than everybody else. And I was just super thankful for it because it could have went another way. I wasn't tripping. I just looked at it as I'm trying to make plays when I'm in a position to make plays. And it means a lot to me. When guys look at me as a leader, you know what I'm saying, I tried to lead everybody differently. Some people you can't yell at. Some people you can't, hey, bring your ass on, let's go. Some guys you can. And when you have that relationship with your teammates, especially in that receiver room, they don't mind being led. You know what I'm saying? They don't mind being told about themselves. They don't mind being accountable. We all fall on the same sword. You know what I'm saying? If I don't finish a route, I don't finish a play, they don't mind cussing me out for it. So I feel like that's a relationship you build through trust, earn the respect of your coaches and your teammates through the work.
Of this game, where you want to make plays, you want to make an impact, you want to be the Stephon Diggs that you know that you are. How do you go about managing that so that you can manifest and be the best version of yourself? Do you visualize what it's going to be like? Do you visualize being a Super Bowl MVP, holding the trophy, any of that stuff? Like,
I want to feel it in the moment. I always visualize myself making plays. You know what I'm saying? I've been thinking about plays since I was a kid or since I was yay high, and they happen eventually. So it's nothing that I let get away from the brain as far as like when it comes to making plays. But manage my emotions. My emotions can be high or they can be low. I'd rather be consistent. Whatever I'm going to be, just be consistent. I don't mind having high emotions or high passion for the game. Just don't let it deter from the team. Like, don't ever make it about me, just more so about we. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell them, like, shit, I feel like I can help this team. I can make plays as long as you don't be a distraction and don't make it about you. You know what I'm saying? And when those moments and you get opportunity, make them. No doubt.
Free agency, what was it about the 4-3 Patriots that drew you to this table?
Damn, they went 4-3?
I mean 4-13.
Just messing with you good morning. It was a lot. I talked about it earlier in the week. More so Coach Vrabel, Coach McDaniels. That was really the selling point. Young quarterback, showed some promise. You know what I'm saying? And a good defense. I knew it was going to be a good defense. So that was enough for me.
The message about Coach Vrabel, what was it about him that made you want to come here?
He's player's coach. He had a great tenure in Tennessee. Guys loved him, respect him. I knew he was going to be a great coach at his previous team or one of his previous teams. He know what it looks like to win. He's been around winners, and I knew it was going to be a good spot for me.
One more. I know Cardi B has a song with Bad Bunny. Are we expecting to see her come out?
I don't know. You got to ask her.
I heard you and your best friend are soccer fans, right? And he said something about he's a Barcelona guy.
Who?
One of your friends?
Yeah, big Barcelona guy.
So the Bayern Munich guys, they said they would fly you in. Come to the championship game or Champions League game.
Championship League.
But any game is cool. They want to fly you in. They want to get you there. There's an interest. That's what they say.
For free?
Oh yeah.
I think about it.
Maybe you said, "Oh, this kid's got it," or "This kid could be special."
Training camp when he threw Pop Douglas, it was like it was an over route that converted. He was scrambling and he threw it like 70 or 60. I was like, this kid can play. You know what I'm saying? And then he had like a good day in the joint practice against the Redskins. I wasn't even practicing. I was just watching, and I was like, training camp won't lie to you. You know what I'm saying? And then I saw him in the preseason. I was telling he missed Pop on like an out route, corner route in the middle. And I told Pop it's going to help you during the season. You know what I'm saying? Shit like this got to happen. You got to get a lot of the wrinkles out before the shirt get perfect. But just know, like, even though it didn't connect, it didn't work, just know it's going to hit him. Me and him ended up hitting that play a couple times throughout this year. I just say he's been consistent. What I've seen is what he's shown. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was going to be halfway decent. I didn't know he was going to be this good.
Your relationship with Drake growing immensely. Can you maybe take me through that process? What does that look like? You guys got an age gap, obviously, for you to connect with him.
He from North Carolina. Country boy for real. Good demeanor, good energy, good positive kid. I feel like relationships are forged through adversity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a young quarterback. He knows everybody got his back, and that receiver to quarterback relationship comes from catching the ball. You know what I'm saying? Getting open and catching the ball, let him know that in the moments you can rely on me, you can depend on me. But you got to earn that respect by making consistent plays. So for me, I feel like that's how it's happening. He's accepted me as a crazy receiver that I am, and I've appreciated it from an older perspective of he's a young kid. These days, young kids, you know, they got like NIL, they got all that type of stuff. They could be another way, and he's just your run-of-the-mill guy. You know what I'm saying? He's like a family man, and I respect him. He's a hell of a kid.
Trust. I talked to Elliot, and we talked about the dinner you guys had.
Yeah.
How he felt like that really solidified him bringing you in. What do you remember about that and the two-way trust y'all had to make this thing work?
It was weird. It was like those recruiting visits when you're like sitting in a chair and all the coaches are around and you're having that open dialogue and having that conversation, and they're getting to know you and you're getting to know them. You know, I had already a relationship with Todd Downing, hell of a coach, receiver coach. That's my guy. Even him, like, I had like multiple conversations with him. We talked that Red Robin, the Red Robin that's right there. So I think that kind of solidified where it was going to go and what we thought about each other. And I knew it was going to be a good fit when I left. I talked to my agent. I said, I don't know what it is. I like it. I like it there. I like them. You know what I'm saying? My fingers are crossed.
Last thing, I know you talked about visualizing. Have you envisioned that moment of holding the trophy? If so, what does that look like to you?
Not yet. I just feel like I got to earn it. Have I seen it for myself? Yeah. But I haven't really visualized that moment because I just want that moment to be its own. And I want to earn the opportunity to be right there. I want to earn the opportunity to get it. So they say you got to see it before it happens, but I know it's going to happen eventually. Just hopefully soon.
If you had to use one word to describe Coach Mike Vrabel, what would it be?
An asshole. Kidding, totally kidding. To describe him, I would say father figure.
One for Drake, man.
Boo-ray.
Hey, did you see Cardi's interview with us at Channel 5 where she popped off a couple of bad words? It was hilarious.
I see it.
She said, and then she said she was so proud of you.
Sorry, I missed it, what she said. Well, thank you for being proud of me.
Yeah. But it was a pretty funny interview. If you get a chance, see it.
I gotta check it out.
It was great.
She's a character.